Dang, man, it feels like the last day of school, you know, in elementary school, not in high school. Because if you went on the last day of school in high school, I question you, man. If you didn't just go and pick up your stuff from your locker or whatever, like I don't know, man. I question you. You gotta play the game the right way, as they say. Let me tweet out the YouTube link.
Our school
Uh,
did it. If you didn't show up, you didn't get your diploma. So
it look exactly, exactly. Let's see. Let me share this out to the people. Man, oh mother freaking man. Does it seem like the year is over, bro? Like this has been maybe the quickest college football year of all time, bro.
it's depressing.
Yeah, yeah. To know it's like 8 months away too. Like, ugh.
I'm
Yucky.
counting it as like 6.5 because NCAA is coming out at some point
Oh yes,
in
true.
that stretch, and that's all I need. Just give me to that. Give me that date, and college football will be here before I know it.
Yeah, if you guys didn't hear that are on the stream right now, they apparently are announcing the NCAA football game tonight. So,
With Jaden Daniels as the cover athlete.
oh, look, that I think that's from Sam sources. I don't know if that's from actual EA Electronic Arts sources, but we'll go with it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Um but my bad, y'all. Gonna tweet this out to the people. Be sure that you're tweeting it out to the people. We will have a guest up here tonight, so please, please, please be sure to retweet this so everybody can join. Last
If
show of
any,
the year, pay for play with your boy Sam and Roddy. We are here. Like I said, very sad day, but everything good has to come to an end. We have our national championship game set. We have the Michigan Wolverines and the Washington Huskies live from Houston, Texas, in a little under an hour tonight. Before we get started, please, 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 we are giving away a $100 gift card when we get to 1K followers. So please follow Pay for Play and subscribe to the channel. All right. You have to be subscribed to the channel and you have to be following us in order to be eligible to win that $100 gift card. Y'all didn't get us there before Christmas, but that's all right. Valentine's Day is also coming up. So if you know what I'm saying, you don't want to take your girl to dinner, give her $100 gift card. If you don't want to take your girl to dinner, then I mean, there might be some serious questions going on in your household, but it is what it is. So please follow us, get that $100. You know what I'm saying? We want to help the people. We want to support y'all for supporting us. You feel me? So definitely want to get that going. But like I said, the game is tonight. We do have a lot coming up on that as well, but I do want to start with our end of season review. Now, we did have, a SEC preview. So this will be an SEC exclusive. You know me as a Georgia fan, Sam as a LSU fan. We are, basically SEC centric around here. We know pretty much all of college football, but we had some, takes on the SEC season. So we'll go through those really quickly. And Sam, I haven't told Sam anything about this yet, but I want to know, what do you think our record was? We had a total of, that I counted, 17 predictions. What do you think we did?
500.
Ooh, we were close. We were close. We went 8 and 9. I'm not the mathematician of the group, so if you know that math, please give it out for us. But it's under 500. I know that for sure. I'm not that stupid. But it's all right. That's not too bad. Not too bad. So, which list do you want me to start with first? Do you want me to start with the list that what we got right, or you want me to start with the list of what we got wrong?
Always bad first.
Okay, bad first. Bad first. All right. Let's see. So we got a total, like I said, of 9 wrong. We'll start with one of your takes. Nuss has zip, Jaden doesn't. That is a direct quote.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, at the beginning of the season, nobody could have predicted he was going to win the Heisman, right? I mean, like, I don't even think, as high as you are on LSU, I don't think you predicted him to win the Heisman, do you?
No, I'll digress though. I'll still stand by the fact that Nuss has more zip than Jaden.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I think
Fair enough.
Jaden has better touch, but Nuss has zip.
Okay. Key distinction there. Key distinction. This was one that I knew that I was gonna have to be called to the carpet for. I kind of knew this in week 4. All right. When they played USF and they had Ty Simpson out there, I was very confident in my take. All right. It was going well. Things were good. I was very high on morale, but I said that Alabama was going to come fourth in the conference or in their division. That was wrong, as we know. They obviously won the conference. Let's just skip past that. All right. That was a bad one. I think I let my hate overshadow my logic in that point, but it is what it is. Now, something that we were both wrong on that we can touch on a little bit. Harold Perkins. We said he was going to have a monumental season this year. And while it wasn't terrible, I think he played out of position a lot, obviously, as we know. And it wasn't the season that we expected. So, I mean,
fuck Matt
what do you have on that?
Fuck Matt House, dude. That guy sucks. You have a generational pass rusher, like a dude who literally won you an entire football game last year, rushing off the edge. And I texted my dad this the other night whenever we announced the Blake Baker hire.
Mm-hmm.
Never, I don't think at all next year will we watch an LSU football game when LSU's on defense and be like, where's Harold Perkins at? Because every game it was like that. So, I mean, he still had a good year. I mean, statistically, he pretty much did a little bit better than what he did last year. And for him to do that with him playing where he was, it's impressive to me. Like, he should never give any credit to Matt House whatsoever. Like, almost tanked this guy's entire stock. We have a great linebacker coach and defensive coordinator coming in. Shout out Chuck. Gave you 2 L's this year. But yeah, I'm excited, looking forward. But yeah, that was a bad take.
There we go. All right. Yeah, I hated to see that. Obviously, I was incorrect about the three-peat. I don't think we have to go into that. It is what it is. This one was woof. I ain't gonna lie, brother. I think we both. I don't know if I was like totally against what you were saying here, but Mississippi State going to be a big surprise, which you technically weren't wrong about. They were surprising, but they weren't surprising for how competitive they were.
It was stunning how bad their offense was.
I mean, we said shit about Will Rogers. I mean, that didn't work out. I mean, everything over there was bad. Okay, we'll shoot them bail just because obviously.
I'll say this: rest in peace, Mike Leach. If Mike Leach is still the coach, halfway through the season, every SEC passing record is Will Rogers.
I agree.
It was a layup. Like, all he had to do was just have a half of what he did the year before season, and every SEC record is his. And he did not get a good offensive system. I don't know why you would try to be that drastic in the change going from. Yeah, it's surprising. I'm counting that as a win. Surprising.
That's what I'm saying. It totally counts. You didn't really specify on the talk was positive from you, but you didn't specify how surprising they would be. So we'll give you that one. We'll give you that one. I'll run through mine. The rest of them are mine. So you only got 2 on here, or well, 3, I guess technically, as you know, we both had a wrong one with Harold. Florida losing.
I'll admit. I'm sorry. I'll admit that I was wrong on Alabama as well. I wasn't as wrong as you, but I was wrong.
No, I was super wrong. I was wrong enough to make the list. Trust me. That was bad. Florida losing to South Carolina. I bet that as well, but obviously that didn't happen. Auburn only winning 2 games. And I confidently said on the stream, oh, they're going to beat New Mexico State. Like, it's totally easy. That, yeah, not my brightest moment. I also was wrong about South Carolina being second. Obviously, Mizzou finished second with their amazing season that they had. And then I had A&M. I confidently said I can't see them wasting away all of that talent. And what did they do? They wasted away all that talent. So it is,
Stunning that A&M did what has A&M has done for the last 80 years.
yeah, just typical A&M stuff. It is what it is. Now let's get to what we were right on. Okay, that's way that's just way better. All right, so we'll start with Malik Neighbors. You said he was going to make all team first team SEC, and he did. He had an amazing season. I think Luther was really good, but I think easily Malik was the best receiver in the conference. So you're good there. Jaden Daniels is going to be the leading rusher for the LSU Tigers. You also said that. Got that one right as well. I think your biggest one, though, which we said we were talking about through text, is that Florida was going to be the biggest pretender. You said you maybe saw 5 wins, and they got to that maybe, and they cashed that future bet. So if you listen
We
to
cashed
Sam,
that under 5.5 win total. It sucks to be a Florida Gator. It will continue sucking to be a Florida Gator. Just keep riding it. Their schedule next year, I don't know how Billy Napier does it. Like, I seriously don't. If he's honestly going to start a true freshman quarterback with that schedule, good luck, buddy. You deserve to be in the Sun Belt.
yeah, he's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. You also said, let's see, let me see. Oh, you also predicted, and I think this one might be on par with your Florida prediction. A&M losing to Miami, and PU, like, they got their ass whooped in Oregon. Well, I guess they play in Miami, but still, they got their ass whooped. So right about that one. I like that. Don't see a lot of rights from me. All right. Tennessee, they did finish third, like I did say. So I got one on the board there. All right.
There you go.
We both predicted the self-destruction of Texas A&M. I think that was, pretty obvious to see as the season went on. They didn't really have an answer at quarterback, so it was pretty easy to see that was going to go left.
I don't think that either of us predicted or would have predicted Jimbo getting fired this year.
Yeah, we didn't throw it out in the show when I watched it over. But we did kind of cite a lot of the stuff that was happening. The offense really didn't have a direction.
You hired Bobby Petrino in 2023 to be your offensive coordinator savior.
We predicted that they were going to be treacherous twins. We did. It was going to be a bad matchup, bad lineup of two unhinged individuals. We told y'all. And then something we were both right on. You said you were going to sit back and let Joe Milton cook, but I mean, we saw what happened. I said he wasn't going to be good, so I'll take that as a win for myself. But I know you sat back and said, "Oh yeah, this guy sucks." Anyway, so like I said, 8-9, we're okay. You know what I'm saying? Not too bad, not terrible. But
I'm flipping my surprising pick, so we're 9-8.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We'll do better next year. Going into next year, we'll be, if we get 18 predictions, we'll do 18-0, whatever. But we wasted enough time. Let's get into our national championship matchup. Our guest is in the building. He is driving right now, so he's not going to be on camera, but we are going to be able to hear his thoughts. Our guy, he's been waiting for this for a long time. All right. He saw that split national championship when he was a young boy, but now he's coming to claim, hopefully, his first full national championship that he's seen in his lifetime. Full on Michigan fan. He's a Falcons fan, which God bless him. Phoenix is in the building. My brother Phoenix, you muted right now, just so you know, before you start talking. But how are you doing, brother? Are you all right? We can't see you, so let's hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can hear you, man. I'm excited for you. I can't lie. Even though I was hating on your squad for most of the year, bro. I'm excited for you in this matchup against Washington. The spread is going to be 5.5. I got it at 5, back down to 5 on my book. So it looks like some money on Washington is coming in. first of all, how do you feel about, the game against Alabama? Were you surprised at how well y'all played? Because if I'm going to be honest, I'm surprised how much pressure y'all were able to get with that defense. I think the defense probably was the highlight of the game easily.
I hope that my
Oh, you're in the forest. The blender guys
surprised
got you
me. I
again.
didn't know that Alabama's fine.
There you go. There you go. We got you. My
Oh,
bad.
they got me.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, so I was surprised with pretty much how the defensive line and the interior played in some sense. Like I knew that Michigan's interior line, the edge rushers, how they play that style of defense would hold up versus Alabama. It was all about just making sure we could contain Jalen Milroe, get home when we send pressure, dominate the trenches when we need to, stop the run at times we need to. So I'm not totally surprised with the way they played. I'm just glad that they were able to execute when it mattered the most.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like just with, and Sam, I'll pass this to you as a review of the game because we didn't get to go over it. What was, so different about Bama in that game from the SEC championship to, the game that they played in the Rose Bowl to you?
It was the team that played Auburn showed up. They were a very Jekyll and Hyde team throughout the year. They looked great against Georgia, against LSU, against some of their stiffer competition. But whenever they needed to have their best performance, their offensive line turned back into the offensive line from the beginning of the season, the one against Texas, the one that allowed pressure up the middle. And I was texting you during the game why
Mhm.
Jalen Milroe is just running straight backwards every time he has pressure. Like, this is Michigan. This isn't Middle Tennessee State, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, take the sack if you're going. Like, if the pressure was on him quick, that's fine. Just take the sack. Don't run 25 yards straight back from the line of scrimmage and try to make something out of nothing. That's a game of possessions and needing to get feel like you had a special teams advantage. Like Will Reichert he was a great kicker all year, won the Groza Award, and then like at the end of the day, he could have been the difference maker. Like a couple of those first drives, whenever Milroe's running straight back, those 3 points could have been big. And um, yeah, Michigan probably should have lost that game. They didn't play their best, and they still found a way to win. Like first half looked really good, and then the second half, their offense came alive at the end of the game in overtime and took over and found a way to win. So more power to them. I think the better team won. Um, but yeah, that was shocking in the first half to see just him running straight back for the entire first half.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm just so surprised at that the Michigan trenches, bro, was boy, they was dominant. I ain't gonna lie. Like they were dominant. And if they can run the ball like that tonight, bro, Washington might be in trouble because yes, Washington has the more explosive offense, but I think if Michigan controls that time of possession, if they're able to dominate in that sense and aspect, I think they'll be on the road to success. So I'll throw it back to Phoenix. What part about Washington scares you the most tonight for this matchup?
Um, it's the offensive side of the ball, and here's the reason why this particular dynamic scares me. It's their trio of wide receivers and their quarterback. Um, it's a double edged sword because it scares me, but at the same time it doesn't. Because the way that Washington is structurally built with their wide receivers and with their quarterback is to be able to beat teams that are like physical in the trenches. You know, you win off the offensive line. Your wide receivers get separation, and they just beat defenders with speed. But we played a team that is structurally built the same way 3 years in a row, and we've won in 3 years in a row and dominated in two of those matchups, and it's Ohio State. Um, so if Michigan gets caught sleeping, which with a dynamic team like this, if they get caught sleeping on the back end, they can make for a long day versus Washington. So that's the main thing that scares me. Penix is going out there having a master class. He is a guy that has played against Michigan in his time in Indiana. The last time we played him during the COVID season, Indiana thumped Michigan pretty bad. But that was also the season before Michigan made this monumental change. So I would say the offensive side of the ball and their wide receiver trio, plus the talent of Penix, is the main thing that gives me pause.
Okay, for sure. I mean, look, we've well documented these receivers all year. I mean, Jalen missing time was really the only reason why I don't think they were talked about all year. I mean, we already know what Rome is going to do, even though I do have a play, and I'll bring out my first play since we got a lot of people here. I got Rome going under his receiving yards tonight. They're at 89.5. It's at minus 115. Now, I know it's crazy. I see your face, Sam. I know it's crazy. But if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm saying this. Okay. First of all, I love the game plan against Alabama. Even though Alabama did shoot themselves in the foot in multiple instances, I think that Michigan is not going to have the same game plan. I don't think they'll be as aggressive blitzing him because I think that Michael is a really good quarterback, and really good quarterbacks know how to beat the blitz. So I think they're going to rely on that front four to get that pressure and get through. And I think they're going to do everything in their power just to say everybody else can beat us except for Rome. I think he may get his catches, but I don't see them getting a ton of bombs. And I mean, look, they're going to get Dylan Johnson back. They're going to be able to run the ball to some effect, but I don't know if it's going to be the great effect. So we'll see. But I think this is going to be a sweaty one. But I got it under 89.5 yards. I think he's probably going to get in the maybe high 70s, low 80s. But I don't. If you're Michigan, you cannot let Rome beat you. You have to let everybody else beat you. And they do have great receivers. They do have a trio, like Phoenix said. But I think Rome is the guy that is going to make those contested catches. He's going to be huge in the red zone. And if you want to win, you got to keep him out of the end zone and out of that, deep threat territory. So, Sam, you're looking at me crazy, I know. How do you feel about Rome, and how do you feel he's going to fare in this game specifically?
I'm not touching any yardage totals or anything. I feel like he will have a big game just because you kind of got to rely on him. Like, he's one of the top 3 receivers in the draft that's coming out next year. You have to try and get him the ball any way you can. Like, I think you saw, we've seen all the comparisons to the 2019 LSU team, but like there was a struggle to get Jamar the ball early in that game, and then he pops off and torches AJ Terrell for 200 plus. Like, you have to give him a chance. You have to throw some balls that maybe aren't the most open, like some of those like those passes in the Sugar Bowl. Like, Rome wasn't open, but Penix has the accuracy and the ability to just drop it in a bread basket right over the top of a Texas defender's head to Rome for a big completion for a first down late in the game. Like, I'm sprinkling Rome 2+ touchdowns for plus 500.
Oh,
so
I like
that's that. I guess I'm saying it on the stream, so it's an official play, whatever. Like, we're sprinkling that little half unit here and there, but I don't know. I mean, this receiving core is what got you here. Like, this quarterback is what got you here, and this is where I'll disagree with Phoenix a little bit. Is Penix wasn't playing at quarterback for Ohio State this year. No one even close to the level Penix has been playing was playing for Ohio State this year. I guarantee. I'll give you that. The last 2 seasons, it was dominant Ohio State blowouts. Michigan took it to them those 2 years before that. But I think the few times Michigan has played someone with similar athletes on the field this year, they've been closer games. The line of scrimmage has been the deciding factor in those games. But at the same time, I don't think any of those teams had quarterbacks like this. And that's where I think the difference maker is in a championship game. I always go back to who has the better quarterback. And I think that's Penix, the way he's been playing lately. The disrespect, I understand Michigan's been one of the better teams all year, probably the best team all year. But at the same time, Washington went through a very tough Pac-12 schedule this year. They won every game they played. They've been underdogs for the last two of them, and well, three of the last four really. Going back to Oregon State, they were underdogs there. They just found ways to win. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll probably get. I'm sure we'll go more into it, but that's where I'm starting.
For sure, for sure. And just to before we get to our best bets, I don't know if Phoenix has any, but I'll let them get it off after this. Um, about your coach, brother. Win or lose, do you think it depends if they win or lose for him to be able to leave? I know you were just in Spody space talking about it a little bit, but do you think that if he loses this game, that he comes back, or is it just I'm leaving for the NFL regardless?
I think that there's a heavy hint that he'll leave for the NFL regardless. Um, Winning a national championship would be the thing that vindicates his time at Michigan, his decision to no longer be in the NFL and not just go for another NFL coaching job when he and the San Francisco 49ers parted ways. Um, I think that the NFL would be too enticing for him just because, like, he's interviewed with it time and time, job, and plus with everything that's going on with the investigation with the NCAA and potential suspension that could come just for the lack of institutional control of the sign stealing Connor Stallion saga that was going on a little bit earlier. The Big Ten's already kind of had at him. They suspended him for the last three games of the season with no concrete proof that he had dealings with the sign stealing situation that was going on. And knowing that the Big Ten came after him, he got past that. The NCAA still has it in for him. You could probably miss a good chunk of the season, like if they decide to go with any type of infraction. So I think that all of those factors will be things that makes him look at the potential NFL coaching landscape and say, "Hey, I'm just going to go back there."
Yeah,
You
I
know,
feel
I, I
you.
read,
I
I read,
think. Go ahead.
yeah, like his mindset could be, I've rebuilt my alma mater, pulled Michigan out of the dark ages, put them back at the upper echelon of college football royalty. Really nothing further for me to do beyond this. Like winning a national championship would vindicate all of that, but I think that what he's done for Michigan could span like seasons and seasons. So
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Well, we're about 40 minutes from kickoff. Phoenix, I don't know if you have any plays for the people to give out, but if you do, I'll let you go. So, what do you got for the people?
um, I'm taking JJ McCarthy under in his passing yards
Hmm.
just because not going off of the full history of the last time they played Washington, but it's pretty clear like Michigan's going to want to run the ball, and JJ will throw in times that he needs to. But I just think when it comes down to the trenches, while yes, you do have the best, um, while you do have the best offensive line, the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line in Washington, Michigan does not post a slouch of an offensive line themselves. I think that J.J. McCarthy using his legs, because I am taking his over in rushing yards. Donovan Edwards, I am taking his over in rushing yards, and Blake Corum, I'm taking his over on the 108. So I'm taking all of the three main runners for Michigan's over as far as rushing yards are concerned for this game. I think it'll be a ground dominated game for the Wolverines, and they'll make sure that JJ McCarthy doesn't have to be in position to throw the ball around because getting into a shootout, our weapons versus their weapons, is not what you want to do if you're Michigan. Samaj Morgan, Cornelius Johnson, and Rome Wilson. It's not Jalen Polk, Roma Duze, and Jalen McMillan.
Hmm.
It's not even close. So you want to put the ball in your best, ground attacks game. So I got over on all of the main primary Michigan players rushing yards and under on JJ McCarthy's. I think it's 189 passing yards.
Okay, for sure, for sure. And I know we know who you want to win, or well, we know who you think is going to win, should I say? But final score prediction at all?
The college football playoffs in the 14 format started with the Big Ten versus the Pac-12, and it was a dominant game. In the Big Ten winning, Ohio State crushed Oregon to win the national championship. I think that closing the 14 playoff, it'll be more the same. I have Michigan actually winning this game 38-20 against Washington.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Dominance. That was dominance, my boy. All right. Look, if it was Georgia, I would be saying the same shit. Don't worry. Don't worry. We ain't faulting you for being confident in your team because they proved us all wrong. Let's be honest. Me and Sam weren't the highest on y'all this year, and you've proved us pretty wrong. Like I know Sam had, the Ohio State game. I think you picked Michigan when they played Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. But I wanted to see it at this level, at the college football playoff level. So we'll see again tonight if they're up to it. And like you said, I think running the ball is going to be the key factor in winning or losing tonight. So hopefully we get a win. So you can get the co-host of Sports and Coffee tomorrow and totally take over and yell at people because them birds didn't do it for you yesterday. But it's all right. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to run up the score, but it is what it is.
I would have
Yeah.
did the same thing if I was the Falcons, man. So I ain't even mad at it.
Look, yeah, the tyrant Arthur Smith is gone, so at least you have something to celebrate about tonight as well. But Sam, any plays for you as we close our season this year?
Oh yeah, we got plays. I'm going the over. I'm on Washington. Like I said, in these games, I go with the quarterback that I think has had a better season. That's Michael Penix. Now I won't entertain any of these bullshit thoughts that the Heisman is awarded too early. Yada yada yada. So stupid. If Penix didn't have a game where he didn't throw for a single touchdown, like he might have won the Heisman. But I digress. I'm going to give a slight head coach matchup to Washington as well.
Okay.
I love DeBoer. I love what he's done. He's won everywhere he's been. He's a great head coach, up and coming head coach in college football. And I think they have I think Washington has what TCU had. I've said it time and time again this year. Washington has what TCU had last year, except they have actual athletes and a much better team in place to back it up in these kinds of games. I don't. I kind of want to disagree with Phoenix in terms of like Michigan's ball control. I understand that is what in theory you want to do to keep this away from Washington, keep the ball away from that offense. But Washington's run defense is much better than their pass defense. Like in Washington, their run defense was top 40 this year. Their pass defense is in like the 120s. I think you kind of got to throw the ball here and there and hit some explosive plays. Like, who cares if it's a shootout? You want to trust your defense that's carried you to this point to this year. And I think at the end of the game, I'm going Washington. Washington in a shootout. We're gonna go. I don't have a score prediction, but I do have money line sprinkle. Washington plus 5.5. I've waited all day to let that go up a little bit, try and get some better odds on that. But yeah, we're sprinkling money line. You dance with the girl that brought you. We hit Washington spread money line in the Pac-12 championship and the Sugar Bowl, and now we're bringing it back. I don't know what it is that's had them so disrespected all year. Like, I understand that there's a size differential, but this is the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line. They're not the biggest. They're not the best offensive line in the country. But Penix knows how to manipulate the pocket and get the ball to his receivers in space. And I think they can run the ball just enough, like they've done every single game down the stretch. Dylan Johnson is not going to go off, but he is going. He adds enough to keep their opponents balanced. And I think at the end of the night, Penix is raising the national championship trophy.
For sure. For sure.
Can
Phoenix, you were going to
can I
say
make
something?
Yeah, I want to make one more statement as well, and I don't know if this really matters to anybody, but take it for whatever it's worth. Blake Corum is going. He said, "Dance with the girl that got you there." Blake Corum is the dance partner that Michigan has to make sure that they are zoned in on tonight. Um, just as a did you know, Michigan is 31-0 in games that Blake Corum has scored a touchdown for the team. They are 25-0 with Blake Corum as the starting running back for this team. They have not lost a game where Blake Corum was the starting running back for this team. He starts tonight. If he scores tonight, we got a lot of history on our side.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that, Phoenix, because that segues me perfectly into one of my plays for tonight. Blake Corum to score the first touchdown. A couple of days ago, it was like at plus 160. It's all the way down to plus 115 now. Okay. And that's the first touchdown for Michigan, not the first touchdown of the game in general. His regular anytime touchdown is like minus 200 something. So just something to watch. I bet that you can still get it at plus 115. So
He's
if you
minus
want
440 now.
put a little dollars on that, I think that would be, I think that would be very much worth it. And then I know this might be on the contrary side, which most of my picks have been, because I feel like I gotta go contrarian when we have a week as we did as good as we did last week. I got this game going over that 56 points. And I know it's kind of sounds crazy, but I think
I've got
Michigan
that as
will
well.
be able. What'd you say?
I said I've got that too.
Yeah, like I do think that Michigan is going to be able to score the ball. Obviously, we know what Washington does. I don't think they're going to be held to like 2 touchdowns or anything. But I really honestly think this game is gonna fly over this 56. I mean, if Phoenix's total is right, we'll get there with that 58 points. But I think we're gonna see offense tonight. I think this is going to be one last final send off for the 14 format as we saw, and I don't know. I just see points. So those are my only 3 plays. I had Rome under his receiving yards. I got the over, and then I got Blake Corum scoring the first touchdown for Michigan. So that's how I'm feeling. But yeah, I want to thank our guy Phoenix for joining us on our last show of the year. Please tell the people where they can find you, my brother.
Pretty much, you can find me on Twitter at Phoenix the Boss. My tweets are my own. I'm okay with reserving my right to be wrong about some of the things that I say. And Roddy, of course, has been a part of Sports and Coffee with me every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 a.m. Central.
Shout out D. Shout out
Shout
D.
out D. Shout out
Yeah.
Tip.
So Phoenix will be there, hopefully happy tomorrow. As Sports and Coffee rules, you have to show up regardless, barring anything serious happening. But we'll hope it's a win so you can get that co-host so you can yell at people. But we'll see. And then also, our guy Jake couldn't join us, our favorite. Jake, the most unhinged individual ever. I couldn't get 2 Bengals fans on here, but it's okay. Sam will understand. We'll get him next year. But Jake also said this morning that Washington has faced 7 of the bottom, I think, 120 or 114 passing
Bottom
defenses
105 or 115 or something like that.
Yeah, like a majority of their games have been against the bottom half of the passing defenses in college football, and Michigan is number 1. So we'll see what happens. What
quarterbacks have they faced?
Well, yeah, they've been pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie, been pretty ass, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But again, thank you, Phoenix, for joining us. Please, like he said, follow him at Phoenix the Boss. If you're watching on Twitter, I tweeted. Go to the quote tweets on this tweet, and his @ name will be right there as well. This is our last show of the year. We will, though, have draft coverage. So me and Sam aren't going away forever. We're just taking a little hiatus, but we will have some draft coverage. Be sure to stay tuned to at Paid for Play, our page. Again, we're giving away $100 when we get to 1K followers, but you have to be subscribed to Win the Day TV and following us as well. So we appreciate you guys. We hate that it's over, but we're happy that it happened. I love that corny saying, but it's true.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Goodbye to college football as we know it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the last time the regular season, this is the last year the regular season truly counts. Every Saturday counts. You live and die on every snap. Next year, Georgia loses a game. Oh, we still got a shot at the playoffs. This is the last time you had to gruel through the regular season, week in, week out, living and dying on every snap. It's over next year.
Yeah.
End of an era.
Yeah, man. It's kind of heartbreaking. And it's kind of saddening. Also, Phoenix, let me, while you're here, let me get your take on these new teams joining the Big Ten. Like, how do you feel about that? Sam brought up a great point. I'm glad you didn't let me leave without talking about that. How do you feel about these West Coast teams coming up to that cold weather and playing them?
I think that I believe that the teams coming over and making that dynamic, um, it's going to be something different. It's going to be something unique to see on a consistent basis. Now, I think it helps that not all the teams are going to be scheduled to have to go to Oregon, to California, to Washington annually. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited for the expansion of the Big Ten. Um, I'll even be more excited if Michigan, for the fourth year in a row, hoist the Big Ten championship trophy en route to the playoffs. Like, the conference got harder, and we're still the kings of it. Like, I would love that.
Okay. All right. Well, there we have it. Pay for Play, season 2. It's a wrap. Appreciate everybody for joining us up. Like I said, follow us on Twitter at Pay for Play. We are not done. We're going to get into some college basketball stuff. But until next September, boys and girls, we'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace.